So, okay. Now, like, what about during, like, right now, like during the quarantine, right? Have you been talking to guys at all? Like, are you still social? Like, are you using like apps?
But it's kind of like it's quarantine. I'm not, I take care of my mom too, so I'm like very
cautious,
very cautious. But I mean, I have. But again, I've been getting a lot of married men.
You emphasizing that,
and I'm like, homeboy, no.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So I just feel like they are very bolder because they know what they want versus somebody else, a single guy, they don't typically want to step out there.
Right. But also married men, they don't have nothing to lose.
They don't have nothing to lose.
No. So if I
want another wife. So
yeah, I mean, like if I got a wife and I step to you and you with the shits, then that's what's up. But if you're not, right? If you're not, then I'm like, oh, I could just write you off. I don't really care.
On to the next one. So yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, I get that, but have you been using apps at all, like dating apps?
I did download one just for experiment.
I love dating apps, but how was it?
I don't know. I don't like them.
Tell me why.
I just rather meet somebody and it just be organic in person. Or if it's through a friend, let it be organic that way. Dating apps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But what, in your opinion, right? What is it about the dating app for you? Like just you personally, what is it about it that's so off-putting?
Because you're getting somebody's persona. It's not really their person.
Mm-hmm.
They're not being truthful and forthcoming. You're getting this image of them. And then I dated people off of a dating app, and I was just like, it's enough.
Okay. And is it...
They're either crazy.
Or...
They rap too tight. It's just too much.
Yeah.
I was just like, that's it. So I did meet a gentleman, but he was nice.
Okay.
Still Texan, but he was in the military 17 years ago.
Okay.
And he was only there for less than 2 years. He's still actively hanging out with military people. He hasn't done anything else, and I'm just looking like,
dude, move on. Yeah, let it go.
And so he mentioned something, and I want to say it was like PTSD, and I was just looking like, oh no.
Yeah.
It was just a no, and I just kind of just been ignoring him because I'm like, no, just weird.
Okay, let me. That's funny. Let's say this, right? Let's say like hypothetical situation. You meet a guy off the app, right? Mm-hmm. You like each other. You have a conversation, right? Conversation seems like it's flowing. When do you get to a point where it's comfortable for you to give him your number?
I mean, you getting my number don't mean nothing. You can have my number. I ain't got to pick up. So I can say after 2 weeks, maybe 1 week. Just depends on the conversation.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm still kind of like side-eyeing you from your conversation and all. You didn't get my number.
Right.
But if it's okay, then I don't mind after a week.
Or what? Okay. And I'm asking that because a lot of guys would want to know that. Because remember, men are supposed to pursue women, right? Because we want to show interest, right? Mm-hmm. When you're in a group setting, you at a lounge, you outside, you're at the grocery store, whatever, that organic conversation, it's easier to have that. Not saying it's easy for men to talk to women, but because you're in a general setting, it's easier, right? But being that we on this app, like you're basing your judgment off of the conversation that we have, right? So I just want you to tell like the guys, like what are some of like the things that women look for to pique their interest and say, hey, you know what? I wouldn't mind giving him my number. You know what? I wouldn't mind going out on a date with him. Things like that. Like what, in your opinion, what would that be?
So it really has to be your conversation, what you're talking about, and how easy it flows and your interest. Do we have a common interest?
Yes. Okay. Common interest.
How is the
one.
Conversation going? Is it going where I'm picking, or I feel like I'm picking, or always starting the conversation? It's just flow.
Okay.
Naturally. You know, it could be about how was your day. It could be about anything, you know, or I can say, well, what is one of your goals? Or I'm doing this over here. And, you know, if he sounds interested in that,
yes,
even if he ain't, but he sounds like he is.
You with it. Okay. Okay. So maturity. You want the conversation to flow.
You gotta have conversation. You have to be able to. So another thing with the guy, it was just like I would say something funny and it would just be like way over his head. He was too serious, and I was just like, oh my God, okay. Too serious.
Okay.
Too serious.
All right.
So, or it was like picking a fight, and I'm like,
too much. Yeah, too much work. Too much work.
It was too much. So that was a turn off. So just be light. It should be a light, easy conversation. It ain't got to be no debate.
Nothing crazy. Okay. But look, real quick, let me play devil's advocate, because there are some people that, like, when you get them in their element face to face, it's easier for them to have a conversation with you. And then there's some folks who, it's easier for them to just simply text, because when you get them in person, it's like a deer in the headlights. Like, you can't get a word out of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Like back in the day, you know, you used to talk on the phone with somebody forever.
Hours, yeah.
Person.
Yeah.
So by the time you met them, you was like, man, you my boyfriend. Like,
yeah.
We done been on the phone all.
Yeah.
So it's nothing wrong with even doing that.
Yeah, I love those days. Yeah, I miss those. I miss those days. Yeah.
Me too. So it's something like that. It don't necessarily have to be. It just has to be a good conversation. It ain't got to be a deep conversation. Just an easy flow. And then you decide when you want to meet in person.
Okay. All right. I get that.